In this video, I'm going to show you how to take images from the internet and include them in your Snap project. You're going to want at least one image for your game sprite, if not two, and you're going to want a background. But you're going to run into all kinds of problems. So I want to show you a comprehensive tutorial that shows you how to address all these various issues that might come up. First, I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to search for a Snap icon. I'm going to go to the Snap programming language, go to images so I can get a cool image. I'm going to find an icon I like. I've noticed when I use this icon here, there's so much white background image that I'm taking out that the only way for it to work is to click on these exact parts. So I'm going to look for a more solid image. I'll go with Alonzo, and this Alonzo looks pretty darn good. So let's take... Here we go. That's a really nice Alonzo. So I'll take this one and I'm going to save the image as on the Chromebooks. Remember, you have to hit that control click. I'm going to save that image, and then when I go to the blocks here, I'm going to go to Sprite, Costumes, and I put that into the mix. Now, this one appears to have a nice background, but it's kind of takes over the whole screen. And that's not exactly what I'm looking for. I'm going to address that later. Now for the stage, I also want to get my stage so that I have something that looks kind of appropriate for Snap. And what might look appropriate for Snap might be like a computer processor. So I'm going to look for a background with a computer processor. And here are some different computer processor backgrounds. Some of these might look pretty good. Looking for just the right one. Let's try this one. And I'm going to save that image again, download that image, and boom, I now have that image. And I'm going to replace this image with that image. And again, I have a problem with these white bars on top. In just a minute, I'm going to show you how to fix that. I have snaps too big, and the background isn't fully filling in. Well, let's fix those problems. The best way to fix those problems is with some code. So I'm going to use code to fix the problems. First, the easy one. I'm going to make a script that when the green flag is clicked, I want some things to happen to my default sprite. The first thing I'm going to want my default sprite to do is be right in the center. So when my game starts, even if the sprite is here, I want the sprite to come to center, and I like that glide just because it looks smooth. This sprite is also way too big in absolute terms, so there is a nice block for changing the size, and that is this set size to some percent. I'm going to see what that looks like at 50% and see if that's better. No, still too big. I'm going to see what it's like at 5%. That's too small. I'm going to go with 20% and see how that looks. That still is too small. 25%. That looks good. So that sprite at 25% with that is just fine. This glide is just a little slow. It's just annoying me a bit, so I'm just going to speed that up because it makes my game take a little bit to start. That's a little better. There we go. Okay, so next, I want this background to like fill the whole background. I don't like this like the background doesn't fill the screen. And believe it or not, fixing the background, I hope someone comes up with a better solution than mine. This takes a little bit of work. So what I've figured out I can do is I can change the by using this switch costume block and this stretch block. I can change it. So I'm going to stretch the computer processor, and I'm going to stretch it to about, I'm just going to guess here, 110. And then, so I'm going to go like this and like that. It kind of looks weird. So I'm going to switch costume to stretching the computer processor by 110. I can't just stretch it here because it's not an action block. So I got to put it here and put it onto an action or a command block, as they call it. and then I'm going to click on the command block, and it does work a little bit, but I need a little more. So now I'm going to stretch it another 110%. See if that works. Oh, that didn't work, so I'm going to now stretch it to 115. See if that works. There, that's perfect right there. Now I'm not going to do it anymore. It's set, so I'm deleting it. Oops, I didn't mean to duplicate it. I meant to delete it. So I'm going to delete it and delete it so I don't accidentally keep stretching it out or whatever. So now I have my stage stretched so it looks right, and I have my sprite imported. I could also do that with yet another sprite. If I wanted to add like Scratch to make this a 2-sprite game, I could then add the term Scratch. And I want Scratch the Cat, that's right. I'll take this Scratch the Cat. I'm going to save that image as, and I'm going to bring Scratch the Cat into my game. So I bring, oops, I have to be on costumes. I bring in Scratch. When I bring in Scratch, it has this ugly white background. So there is this really cool website called Remove Background that I'm going to use to get rid of the background. Watch this. I just type in Remove Background. And when I go to Remove Background, I get this cool web page. I bring in my image, and I click on Remove Background, and I download it. And now, boom, check this out. Oh, it didn't work perfect. Darn it all. It removed a little bit too much of that background. But you can tinker with it and find a different image that doesn't have quite the damage of this one. Again, with Scratch 2, I can change the size, write some scripts to get that to work as well.